Welcome to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. I am Terissa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. My pleasure, my honor to facilitate this event. Every fourth Friday of the month, we do it live in person right here at City Council Chambers. And we invite you all to come down. We have coffee, we have pastry. We got a nice little crowd here today. So please, next month, join us, 8:15, 8:30-ish at City Hall in the Council Chambers. Please welcome, of course, as we always start off this show, with our sponsor, the one, the only, Melyn Joseph from Mid-Florida Credit Union. I almost said Mid-Florida Event Center, so I'm getting real used to that.
We're one and the same now.
Yes, you are. It took me a very long time to get to Mid-Florida Event Center because we always called it the Civic Center.
Yeah, I have to correct my kids at home too.
You do? Are they still calling it the Civic Center?
Yes.
It's hard. We did that for many years, and now I am trained Mid-Florida Event Center, but you do not work at the Mid-Florida Event Center, which is run by the city.
Yes.
Mid-Florida just has naming rights there.
Yes, absolutely. Because as you know, we are very supportive within the community. We derive from that community and helping out and being in the zone in the area. That we have several branches here actually. In the Treasure Coast alone, we have 6 branches. So from Vero to Okeechobee to Stewart, we have all our branches there. So we're able to tap into different communities and service them.
So what counties do you can, Martin, Indian River, St. Lucie, Okeechobee, you're in Lakeland, you started in Lakeland.
We started out in Lakeland in a shoebox.
So is that Polk County, I think?
That's Polk County.
Yeah, are you in Highlands County?
We are in Highlands County, we're in Orange County, we're spread pretty, we're in Ocala.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're in Naples, so we're out there.
Yeah, you are.
Right now, we can go as far as Broward. We just don't have particular branches there yet, but I'm sure they're working on that.
So, Palm Beach County,
Yeah,
then.
Palm Beach County, yeah.
Good for you. And in order to be, and I asked because my in-laws are in Highlands County, but I asked because in order to be a member of the credit union, it's not like the old days. You only have to live, work, or worship.
And go to school.
Yep.
In the area, then you can be a member.
Live, learn, work, or worship.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
We'll change it up next
Something
month.
to tie you with the community.
Yeah, you have to be a part of that community. And a credit union, as most people know, hopefully if they've been watching the show, it's a nonprofit.
Ours is nonprofit, yes.
Yeah, typically a credit union is nonprofit, and banks typically are not.
No, they're owned by their stockholders.
They are, and they produce dividends, but you guys do that, but it has to be reinvested.
Yes, it's reinvested back into the institution, back into, you're thinking about your liquid products or your interest rates. Like right now, our vehicle loans are as low as 1.99. So that goes right back in, and you get to vote. You control what happens with the credit union as a member.
Very good. Yeah, they send you out ballots every year because
Oh yes, I get mine too, and it's in Lakeland. So you can go and, hey, I want more money on my savings.
So 1.99 for a vehicle loan, and that's a new car, right?
That's
Your used car is pretty good
from
too.
2018 to 2021 or 2022, if you got that kind of leverage. Yeah, 1.99. So very good.
And what about used car? Do you do used car?
We do used cars. We even do antiques or classics.
Oh wow.
We lend out for that too. So again, we're a credit union. So we find ways to make it work for the community.
Good. And what's property tax or interest rate for mortgage?
Mortgage right now, if you're doing like home equity, 1.99 for the first 12 months. Mortgages are pretty good too. Anywhere from 3% and up is there right now.
Okay.
And it's still thriving. So pretty good market.
Very good. Anything else you need to tell us about Mid-Florida this month?
Well, I mean, on top of that, we're also giving any new member $200 if they come in and open a free checking account. So some incentive for you there, along with if you refinance, you get an additional $200. So we're giving out what we can.
Yeah, you are. You're getting them in the door.
Yes.
All your branches are open?
All our branches are open. We've been open.
Yeah.
And throughout the pandemic, we're so community invested that whether it's by appointment, we were open. Now we're just like doors are wide open. You can come in, we service you, and we go to the extreme of if it's after hours, because we're open 7 to 7. Our drive-through is open 7 to 7.
Oh my
so
goodness.
if it's something that, let's say, Terissa, you need to sign something and you just couldn't get there at 5, as long as we have that communication, we set that up for you because we're here for you.
Oh my.
Yeah. So
And we're going to bring up something that's been talked about a lot lately. I'm sure you have positions open
oh yes.
at the at the bank. Yes, I did. I caught that. So what do we got available over there, and what can people?
We have peak time teller open. We have member service positions open. Go on our website. We try not to pinpoint a particular location because we want to make sure after training that you go to where it's feasible to you. But go on our website, midflorida.com, and check out career and see what's available out there. But yeah, we are in the market,
Yeah.
to put it plainly.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
And before we go, let's give them the website so they can go on there. They can look at loans. They can look at careers. They can look at all
Everything.
locations.
Yes, location, open book. We even have a history of where we come from, where we are now, so you can have a picture of the annual report. So www.midflorida.com, and you'll see everything. You'll find me on US 1. I manage the branch on US 1.
Okay. Yeah, you do.
Yes.
So what about any nonprofits I know you guys are constantly engaged in nonprofits. So I can't imagine you have the full list, but I know.
No. I think we're
Our
talking to
BNI's,
everybody.
yeah, our BNI's coming up in January at, I believe, and I'm going to say this in Catherine's colleague, at Mid-Florida Event Center.
Yes.
Yes, so we're excited about that. We're going to do
That's a
it
big
in
one for us.
person, yeah, because we get like 400 people.
Yeah, but-
And anybody can come.
Yeah, and I think the EDC luncheon too is another huge thing for
Yep.
for us because we get to meet the other investors, the other ones that are for the community. So
Perfect.
that's a good thing for us.
Well, I always like seeing you get a plug in for the Haitian Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, I am the vice chair for the Haitian Chamber of Commerce here in Treasure Coast, and we're here to service the minority and the Haitian individuals who own businesses and don't know the hows or the ins and outs about doing things. My partner and I, we derive from the financial sector, and she's SBA, I'm retail banking, so what a collaboration
Yeah.
to help individuals. But check us out at www.haccof/treasurecoast.com and take a look. See what.
And we're going to probably work together with the chamber.
Oh, yeah,
On
absolutely.
an event coming up after the first of the year. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
We'll bring in more.
And we
on.
love collaboration because we are here for each other. We're
Yeah.
one community. We need to find a way to make it work.
Yeah, definitely. It's better to work in
Oh,
tandem.
yeah. Less headache.
Yeah.
Less stress for me.
I know. All right. Well, thank you for being with us, Melyn. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
It's always nice to see you. So
Yes, I've missed you.
I know.
It's been a while.
Thanks for coming. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with the City of Port St. Lucie Mayor. Welcome back to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. Again, I'm Terissa from the Chamber, and I am here with the one, the only official mayor of this beautiful city of Port St. Lucie, Shannon Martin. Welcome her, everybody, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I think we might have done last time's show with you as the official mayor, maybe. No.
Russ filled in for me because I was out of town.
This is your first show officially as the mayor. I don't have to say interim or any of that crap. So good. It's easier too.
Yeah, it is.
It sounds right. But congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Very excited for
Happy
you.
to be here.
Good. Glad it worked out the way it did. We've got a lot going on in the city. People don't understand the reading, the research, the knowledge base you have to run around town with, because it could be anything from trash pickup to referendums that you need to really educate yourself on. Because if somebody asks you in the grocery store, my gosh, you better have the answers, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time.
Yes,
But
it
that's
does.
good because that's what local government's all about.
It
Meeting
is.
the people where they are and having conversations about what's going on in the city.
Yeah. So a couple of good things. Let's talk about Parks and Rec. What happened there?
So after a 2-year process, our Parks and Rec department is finally accredited.
Yep.
And so we are so proud of them. It is a painstaking process. They have to meet so many standards, over 102 standards, and they pass with flying colors, and we're really proud of them. We have several departments in the city that are accredited, and it's important to know that having accreditation means that they meet all the important standards and best practices, and we're just so proud of them for doing that.
So yeah, it definitely means that they're doing their best practices, because there's best practices in anything that you do in the world. There's something called best practices, which means don't reinvent the wheel all the time. We figured out the best way to do it. And so there's standards that oversee Parks and Recs departments and people that oversee building departments, and accreditation is a process. Now, does it mean anything really monetarily? Like, how does it just means that you are really doing the best job that you can with your resources as a Parks and Rec department?
Yes, absolutely. That's what it means.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have all the parks in the world and, it just means that with your resources, you're doing the best job you can.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
We want to make sure that they are doing the best job they can. Parks are very important in Port St. Lucie. It goes to quality of life. We want to provide the best quality of life to our residents. So very important to have people that are working for us that are extremely professional, skilled, trained, and know what they're doing to serve our residents.
So, we talk about quality of life a lot in politics, right? But people don't really know what goes into quality of life. But the short answer is everything.
Everything, yeah.
Everything is a part of your quality of life. Your access to resources, parks, rec, retail options, restaurants, Costco's and Sam's and all, people consider that to be quality of life. Medical arena is a part of the quality of life. You want to live where you have access to doctors in a reasonable amount of time, and you want to be able to get to them in a reasonable amount of time. So infrastructure is a quality of life.
Absolutely.
And what they all have in common is they cost money.
Everything costs money.
Nothing in life is free.
Nope.
So I'm segueing into the tax abatement, the jobs referendum, so we can explain to people what the jobs referendum is. I'll let you handle that part.
Sure.
Okay.
So it is a Florida statute that if we are going to offer tax abatement to targeted industries or companies, that we have to have voter approval in order to do that.
Okay.
And so our tax abatement has expired, and so we are going out on December 7th to our residents to ask them to reauthorize the tax abatement, the ability for the city council to use tax abatement as a tool to recruit companies to Port St. Lucie.
Okay, so we're going to really dig in here so people understand it. A tax abatement means it's just we're going to let you not pay a very small portion of your taxes, and because they still have to pay other districts, schools, fire, mosquito, they have to pay their fair share for some of the resources we're given.
Yes.
But for a very small portion, we'll say, okay, you don't have to pay that when you first come if
you bring the jobs, and if you bring high-paying jobs, and if you can demonstrate that you have provided those jobs on an annual basis.
Yes.
And if you cannot, then you lose the abatement.
You have to pay it. You have back
And
taxes.
then you're going to have to pay the taxes.
Yeah.
And so what we've done typically here in Port St. Lucie for the companies that have come in, like Cheney Brothers coming in, Tamco, FedEx, we don't just say, okay, you get 10 years, that full 10 years. That's not what we do anymore. It used to be that a long time ago, but we want to make sure that these companies are providing the jobs and have true skin in the game. So we've said, well, the first 5 years we'll give you the abatement, but then going from years 5 to 10, it's on a sliding scale, 20% each year until you reach that 100% mark.
Until you reach every single benchmark.
That's right. You have to reach the benchmarks. You have to keep providing those jobs on a yearly basis. And then after that 10-year period, you have to pay the full taxes to the county and to the city.
And so it's only a small portion of the taxes, not all their taxes. So we have established that. And we don't, as citizens, make up the difference. So people think that. They think, oh, well, is this going to cost me more money? No.
Not at all. It has nothing to do with individual property taxes. It doesn't increase our millage rate or our tax rate at all. They're completely separate.
In fact, the economic stimulus from bringing in these larger companies, and then they have ancillary businesses that come along with them oftentimes, like Amazon has small groups that drive for them that are different businesses. Those guys are all paying full taxes. And when you look at the economic impact that all of these things bring, you guys have been able to lower the millage rate in past years.
Yeah, and people, that is the flip side of it, is that even though we're given the abatement for a certain amount of time, these companies bring capital investment into our community, and that economic input and output is huge. Just take, for example, FedEx, $64 million in capital investment into our community. That's one company. And there's more to come because our jobs corridor is going strong. We're going to continue to build on that because one of our main goals in our strategic plan is to make sure we're providing a diverse local economy. And like I said, we're going to keep doing that. And we do have more coming in the pipeline.
Yep.
They take a while, as everyone knows, to get out
Yeah.
there and to finally get those deals done. There's a lot involved, especially working with our county, our Economic Development Council, the state, to get those job growth grants. But we're going to keep working at it, for sure.
Good. And so when we're talking about economic development and targeted industries, it's important to note that targeted industries are targeted because they result in the most local impact, the most local income. And so manufacturing is the perfect example. Money goes back to the end of the line of where something is made. That is the end line for the money on a product.
Sure.
And so when they manufacture it here, we're the end line. And what happens to dollars that stay here or come here, they're typically distributed 3 times over in our community. So I may end up with that dollar, then you may end up with that dollar, and then somebody watching right now might end up with that dollar. So those targeted industries are important, and they're very highly coveted in the economic world are those targeted industries. Everybody's fighting for them. Everybody wants them now, and everybody else is offering them, a sweet deal to come to their area. And so we have to have something to offer.
Absolutely. And when you talk about competing, we're not just competing in the local area. We're competing against states like North Carolina, Texas, and they have much more robust programs for giving companies those that ability to go to those cities. And we want to make sure that we can get them here. We have the land. We have the ability to have them prosper. We want those high-paying jobs here, raise that median income here in St. Lucie County and Port St. Lucie, and that's what it's all about. And that was our promise, and we're going to continue to do that.
So you know how every time we do this show, somebody says, what about the Costco? What about the Cheesecake Factory? What about the Trader Joe's? And we always say the same thing, and we say it every month. And the good thing about saying it every month is that we have new watchers, new viewers every month, but we do have to say it every month. And the reality is all of those companies are looking for us to meet certain standards as residents before they will build in our community. Meaning we have to have, sometimes they go as far as education, but we definitely have to have a certain level of average income, average household income, and a certain level of disposable income. And we haven't met those benchmarks for some of those higher end retailers. And it's because our income level here in St. Lucie County is a little bit lower than even our surrounding areas.
Right.
But bringing jobs here will help us with that.
Absolutely.
So if you're still holding out hope for Trader Joe's, you definitely want to be in favor of something that helps attract new businesses here. And that's where I want to remind everybody that retail is not economic. That is not economic development. It is the result of economic development. So we'll get a Trader Joe's when we've done sufficient economic development where our people are making a higher wage.
Yes, we have to meet those company demographics for those. And I mean, we have the sites for sure.
Yeah.
But it's about meeting those demographics. And I probably get an email a week about that and have to explain exactly what we're talking about now, about how the city doesn't choose who comes here.
No.
The private companies choose, but it's based on their data and analysis. And so.
Yeah, I don't actually even believe in courting those companies. They'll come when we are ready, when we have met what they want. I don't agree always with what they say we have to have. I feel like they're way, it's much more than we need, because there's plenty of examples of businesses that I thought, I don't know if we have the income for that, and they've done fine. And I know for sure that Trader Joe's and Costco's would do great here. But the reality is it's not like you can sweet talk them into it. They are very hard and fast on their rules and their demographics. So that's what it is. So I'm glad we talked about the referendum. I do hope people understand. The last thing I want to mention is that I think we're still over or around 60% of our residents that get up every morning, put their clothes on, get in their car, and leave our area to go to work.
Absolutely.
And when they leave our area to go to work, they leave a trail of their money all the way down, all the way up, all the way back, stopping for gas, for coffee, for breakfast. And so that's money that our community never, ever sees.
Yes, and it would be great to recapture that, and those sales tax dollars are going some other place. We want them to come back here, because if you look around the city with the sales tax, we are working on our roads. We are working on sidewalk projects. We are working on road repavement.
Yeah.
And those dollars pay for those things.
They do. Yeah, we're all in it together, but all the dollars help with our resources. And wrapping this thing all the way back up improves our quality of life. All right. We're going to go into questions. It looks like we have a question. Wait, I feel like there was one more thing that we said we were going to talk about today, and I don't remember what it was. PSL Boulevard. Oh.
We want to mention about PSL Boulevard South. The first part from Gatlin to Darwin was supposed to start this month. But due to supply chain issues and materials with the contractor, they're not going to be able to start till December. So it's a little disappointing because we've waited so long, but
And you and I are probably the most excited about it because we
Yes.
live out that way, and we really, really, really want that done. However, you would have to be living under a rock not to see that there are supply chain issues right now.
we have it's across the board. It's affecting every project that we have in the city, all the development community. It's affecting them as well. It's a nationwide problem. I was just talking to a big pool contractor the other day, and he said that he had been he had an order in March of materials, and the order had just come in that day. And and it was last week that we had the conversation. And so that's a long time to have to get materials when you're trying to build pools or any other project.
Yeah.
Houses,
Yeah.
roadway projects. Yeah, it's
And it's
a
not
long
just
time.
that, it's, they've warned you, and we'll warn you here, start ordering your Christmas gifts, because
Yeah.
that is going to be, I'm actually waiting on a pair of boots we ordered 6 months ago.
Really? Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah. So you definitely need to get ready. Understand that that's happening, and there's not anything we can do about it here and locally. Yeah. All right, we got one of our first questions from Monica, and she wants to know, what's the expectation for receiving our impact fees that St. Lucie County is holding? Those millions will help our city.
So the city has moved away from impact fees to mobility fees. That was effective on October 5th. We are now mitigating for the full impact for development here in Port St. Lucie. So we are collecting those fees and keeping our mobility fees. As far as what is currently being held with impact fees with St. Lucie County, there is a Chapter 164 Florida statutes dispute resolution process that we are in the middle of right now. And we are having a joint meeting next week with the county to have discussions about resolving issues that we have to with regard to the impact fees that they're holding, and with regard to an interlocal agreement on the portion of impacts on county roads. So again, we're going to be talking about that next week. I hope and pray that we can have a very successful meeting and come to a resolution with them. We have been wanting to do that all along. That is the goal. And we partner on most things. We partner very well with our county. But this is an issue that we are, working on, and we have to find a resolution to. And hopefully, again, we can do that next week.
But I do want to say, as far as the impact fees and holding them, they were collected from developers, from development for roadway capacity only, meaning allowing for more cars to drive on the road in some way. If those monies aren't used for that, they have to be returned to the developer. Yes. So these impact fees, even if you guys, even if the city got a large sum of them you cannot use them for anything but capacity on roadways. And I know that the county is making a plan for capacity on roadways for much of them, but if it is not used for that, you cannot switch the money over to some other project. So it would have to be returned to the developers if it's not used for
that. Money doesn't come back to City of Port St. Lucie. They'd have to give it back to the developers if they're not using it. But we did have an agreement that the money would be used for 6 roads that border Port St. Lucie. And so going forward with any interlocal, we would want to make sure that future monies that would be turned over to them for their portion, that they would be using it for those roads, because they all border Port St. Lucie. And how we're different than a lot of other cities and counties is that a lot of them have state roads and county roads that actually run through their cities, and we're pretty unique. We don't have that. So, but the border roads like Glades Cutoff, Midway, Prima Vista, Walton Road, they all border our city.
Yep. Very good. We're not getting a ton of questions. So odd to me that we don't get it. I don't know if anybody here in the audience has any questions. Oh, we do have a question. Okay. Do we want her to come up to the podium to ask her question? Do you mind doing that? Is that okay? Is it on? Oh, perfect. Great. Welcome.
I was just asking a question, because now that you're no longer the intern and you are mayor, I'm not sure if you are aware of some of the complaints that went into the city building department regarding the recent arrest for the pool company, and the fact that they did not do their due diligence to properly vet that application that was submitted. And now there are a lot of citizens that are, out of a lot of money regarding that, as well as the properties themselves. There are lots of properties that were abandoned and damaged now within this city and the surrounding counties. I just want to make sure that the city is, aware that that is happening, as well as giving these residents time to, piece their properties together and not pose any penalties or anything, damages due to these recent events.
Absolutely. That is something that we are working on right now. Our city manager and assistant city manager are working to address right now. Our police department was heavily involved in that criminal investigation. So that is still being worked on, in partnership with FDLE and the surrounding law enforcement agencies. But we are looking into that. We're looking into what roles were played and what may have been done or what was done correctly or wasn't done correctly. And so we are very aware. But thank you for that question, and we will make sure we continue to address it.
And I know that is near and dear to your heart, and the investigation is continuing. It's not quite over yet, and you'll get to the bottom of it, I'm sure of that.
Absolutely.
But I would love I know it's so hard right now because materials are impossible to get, and these pool builders, the legitimate pool builders, are backed up for over a year. So it would be great if we had a pool builder that could help these people out that were kind of left in the lurch on this subject. But everybody's kind of in the same boat of lack of labor, lack of materials, lack of time for the amount of jobs that are going up. Because if you haven't noticed, houses are popping up on a daily, hourly basis.
And actually, I have some information on that. So single-family permits issued from September 24th to October 7th, 278.
So what was the date again?
From September 24th to October 7th,
It's 2 weeks.
278 single-family permits were issued.
That's 2 weeks. It's
And-
14 days.
And for 2021 total, 4,275. Last year, the total was around 3,600. So we have already far surpassed that.
I know this is not maybe going to be popular, but it scares me a little bit. It really does scare me the way that, what goes up must come down. We've been through this before.
Yes.
I know people are really in love with our area because the cost of living is low, but we have all the resources. We're an hour and a half to, Orlando or Miami, but we're just like full speed ahead. We've done full speed ahead before here, and you and I both remember that.
Yes.
So I don't know, just be careful.
And I think it was 2 days ago, once again, U.S. News and World Report, we are the 8th best place to
Solid.
retire. And if you look at the cities that got 1 through 7, majority of them were Florida cities.
Yeah, Tampa, Naples, all those usual suspects.
Yep.
And then, of course, beautiful Port St. Lucie is usually in the top 10 at least. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and
But
as I've mentioned before, we were planned as 80,000 single-family lots. And so those lots can be built upon, those property rights exist. And so it's all about managing our growth and doing it the best way we can and the most fiscally responsible we possibly can, because we're going to continue to grow.
yeah, just remember that 80,000 is just in the city.
80,000 just in the city.
And, very few houses are occupied by one sole person. So just think about how many people that brings. But it's not 80,000 more, it's 80,000 total.
There's about 14,000 left.
14,000 left. So now we're going to get the question, are we going to turn it off at 14,000? Are we done?
Well, no, because that doesn't include Southern Grove, Western Grove area. That was just the original part of the city prior to the Southern Grove area being annexed in.
Oh,
So those are all entitled out there as well.
there's like 8,000 out there, right?
There's a little more than, even more than that. Yeah, a lot more than that.
Okay. And it doesn't include the county or the city
No.
of Fort Pierce.
It's not, and we can see they're growing as well.
They are.
With the development project.
Actually, I think Fort Pierce has had its largest percentage growth it's ever had, because that city has really always hovered around 40 to 42,000. And I think, they had like 2,000 home permits
Yeah.
last year. All right, so more to come in every in every aspect, but things like the tax abatement, jobs referendum will help in making sure we're providing the resources for all of these people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think we have. Do we have any other questions? We do not. Okay, we have some more. Okay, come on up. Come on up. So we'll allow our in-person audience to ask as many questions as they want, I guess, then.
Morning, Mayor Martin.
Morning.
Quick question as it relates to the incoming companies or corporations that are going to be impacting the economic growth in the city. Are there any companies that you could speak of right now beyond Amazon, FedEx, and a few others that we've kind of seen popping up?
I wish I could, but I'm not at liberty to divulge any names just yet.
Okay.
But I think in a couple weeks, we'll be able to announce one more. And then hopefully, going down the line, going into next year, we'll have a few more that we'll be able to announce.
All right.
I wish I could.
And then a follow-up regarding the parcels that are remaining that are left to be undeveloped and permitted. Does the city have the ability or the county have the ability to restrict growth, growth or development at that point?
We cannot restrict the residential growth.
Okay.
Those lots, those single-family residential lots come with the inherent right to develop, and government cannot interfere in that.
Fair
So,
enough. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
That's on GDC. I'm thinking of the ones, so I sit on the Economic Development Council, and so I can't remember which projects I can say and can't say. Can you say the CB one? I think we can say that one.
CB? Cheney Brothers? Yeah, we've said Cheney Brothers.
Okay, Cheney
Yes.
Brothers and Oculus.
Oculus, Excel.
Cheney Brothers.
Excel, we were supposed to do the groundbreaking on last couple weeks ago, actually. But again, due to supply chain issues and materials, they had to postpone their groundbreaking. And hopefully, Oculus will be able to come out of the ground starting first quarter of next year.
Yeah, because we already did their groundbreaking.
We did the groundbreaking a couple of years ago.
I'm going to say 3 years ago,
Yeah, you may be right about that. Maybe 3 years now.
but nobody's counting.
Good morning again.
Morning.
Just another question, with the jobs that are coming into our city, I'm not sure with the city of Port St. Lucie or St. Lucie County if this is already something available, but will they have any programs or anything for felons as far as them being able to obtain jobs in the city?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
So-
their programs are for recruitment.
Yeah, that is a real need. And we have an issue with that with many companies that want to offer second chance, which I am all for, especially when we need workforce really bad. But insurance companies make it hard to bond them. So Commissioner Franny Hutchinson is trying to run a bill at the state level. She's not at the state, she's local, but she's got a partner up there. And they're trying to get a bill in play that kind of forces the insurance companies to be able to do, because it's very difficult to bond on when they are felons, and it's very expensive typically. And as long as that is an additional cost to some of these employers, it makes it hard for them to offer the second chances that we need and they want. So, but but great question. Thank you. There you go. Sorry.
It's okay. Just want to mention.
I go to a lot of meetings, as you know.
I know you do. We all do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just want to mention a couple other things. So on October 30th, we are going to have the grand opening at MIDFLORIDA Event Center of our Waterways Smithsonian Museum on Main Street exhibition.
I love this.
Yes, and it's
Didn't know about it. Love it.
It's in partnership with our St. Lucie Cultural Alliance, and it'll serve as a community meeting place to convene conversations about water's impact on American culture.
Nice.
So it will be at 5:30 p.m. on October 30th, and anyone can come out and join us. It should be an exciting evening.
Okay, I love it. I have a question. Are we trick-or-treating on Saturday or Sunday? Do we know?
Halloween.
Halloween? It's Sunday? Okay. very
Halloween.
good. All right.
But there are several
Yeah, there's a lot of trunk or treats.
lot of trunk or treats, and we have the Fall Festival that weekend
Yep.
as well at MIDFLORIDA Event Center. So there's a lot of things going on.
I'm old school, though. I want them to come to my house, and I'm going to give them candy, but
Right.
I don't love it on a Sunday night.
I know.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, some communities change the date, but for us, Halloween is Halloween.
Oh, next year it's a Monday for the. Okay, I'll be all right. I think that's it, unless you have anything else.
Just one more thing.
Yeah.
So, and this is exciting because we love our Boys and Girls Club.
Of course we do.
And so on October 11th, we signed an agreement with Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County to fund a new innovative program for our youngsters through the city's Community Development Block Grant Program, which is funded through the federal government. And it will provide educational services to our kids with a mobile club project. So,
Mobile club
we're bringing, Boys and Girls Club is bringing the club to the kids in parks and different areas around the city, especially in the areas where we get funding for our community development block grant.
Okay.
So like
Windmill
our low to
Point.
mod areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Windmill Point especially. So it's going to be a year-long project from this month until September 2022, and working in conjunction with our neighborhood services department. And so they're going to be bringing food to the kids and
Nice.
educational resources, and it's going to be really exciting. I'm really happy about it.
I will submit that Will probably works very, very, like the one person that probably goes to more meetings and works harder than me.
Absolutely.
I do want to tease our program because we have a program that we're doing with the city of Port St. Lucie as well. And we have been working hard on that. And it really is, it is a full service of starting a business or expanding a business.
Great.
Now, we're doing a lot of training with tax receipts, permitting, reading the Muni Code, all of that stuff so that we can point you in the right direction and you feel confident that we're really helping you. We also have a new program that's going to come online that's going to be free to the public. We purchased it because I had seen it a year ago or so, and it's very exciting, but it helps you establish the best location, tells you how much you might have to pay, what you can expect for the type of business you want to bring to town. So it's a huge resource.
Before you sign the lease?
It is. It's part of that. So it's a little bit of everything. Like if somebody says, I would like to open a coffee shop, we're going to say, come on in and talk to us. This is what you got to do. First of all, look at this program. It says there's too many coffee shops here. You don't want to go over there. This is a good place for a coffee shop. And if you go over here, you're probably going to have to pay your people $12 to $13 an hour. And, you can expect to survive over here. Now, what do you got to do first? Well, you got to get your EIN. We're going to tell you how to do that. Then you got to get your business tax receipts. We're going to tell you how to do that. Then you have to, start your all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to be able to guide you. We have partners with SBDC, the Minority Business Association, We Venture for Women, and we're going to make sure you get all the right certifications, and we know what licensing you need and kind of help you out. Because sometimes people have a great idea, but they don't know how to get started.
Absolutely. And we want to make sure that they are starting out right and that they have the opportunity to thrive, not just survive, but thrive.
But thrive. Because expectations are everything. So we already have the program that we did with you years ago that people love, that they say, okay, I'm going to open up a daycare and I want to go here. And we say, come talk to us first.
Right.
You can't go there. There's not enough frontage. Daycares require more. You need a firewall. You're going to need this. Because people know that they want to work with kids and they're a very good daycare person, but they don't know what you have to operate a physical location. So if you occupy in a physical commercial location, we can help you with that too. And managing those expectations. Because people say, I just rented a bay, I'm going to put a daycare there. No, you're not. It's going to cost you $20,000 more to bring it up to code for a daycare. Were you aware of that? No. Same thing with hair salons. You need special plumbing and traps, and people don't realize that.
And with the amount of people that are moving and wanting to start businesses here on a daily basis, that's such a great service to be able to provide to educate our businesses. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. That's great.
We love doing it because for us as a chamber, Chamber of Commerce means something different to most people because we kind of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Some people, it means breakfast and after hours. To me, it means I need to be a good advocate for business in our community, and I want to be a resource. I don't want to just offer you the opportunity to network, which we do well, and we do a lot of it, but I want to be a resource, and I want to be able to manage our operation while we're doing real work for businesses, not just events and fundraisers and things like that. So for me, I'm so grateful to the city for helping me achieve that goal of making the chamber a true resource.
Absolutely. And you guys are the experts, so we want to make sure that we're partnering, but leaving that hard work to the experts. So.
Yeah, and we do the same thing. We say if you want to get a government contract, you need to go talk to Tom Kindred at the SBDC to get government, certified. So we're the same way. But at least we know where we need to send them. That's the big thing.
Great.
All right, very good. I think that's it. We did really well, but we had a longer show than normal, so that's good too. Yeah.
Stuff to talk about.
We did. There's a lot going on. So I want to remind everybody, all things treasurecoast.com if you're looking for anything to do along the Treasure Coast. And of course, stluciechamber.org if you're looking for help with your business, starting up, expanding, all that kind of great stuff. We'll make sure you get pointed in the right direction. This is on City of PSL Facebook page. It's I think we also share it on our page, TV20. YouTube, all those great places, and our information I see has just been put up online too.
Great.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming, our studio audience, and thank you, Melyn Joseph, for representing Mid-Florida today. Melyn is with us very often, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Mid-Florida, for you at the Event Center and for us at B&I and for all of us at the community for having them as a great partner. Have a great day, everybody.
Great day. Thanks.